to the CFG Game Cast, episode number 263, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers that like to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every week and release it on all podcast services, so do us a favor and show us some love by liking, following, subscribing, or commenting on our Twitch page, the CFG Games, or YouTube, the CFG, or go to our main website, confreaksgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davies, and with me today, I got my two awesome co-hosts. I got a special guest today because Pop is out. We got a variety streamer on Twitch. He goes by Real Super Kami Guru to the chat. How are you doing today, Kami?
Oh, I'm doing pretty nice. You know, the weather's finally, not hot. So, I'm finally cool. But other than that, it's a good day.
Dang it. Well, I wish I could say the same here down in Texas, dude. And I probably should. Yeah, it's freaking great. Well, then again, when I was in Vegas like a couple of weeks ago, it was amazing. And like the weather in Vegas was amazing. I
was like, we just had a dust
again right now.
We just had a dust storm yesterday. I never even knew that was a thing. So
in Chicago? Wow, that is weird.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. But anyways, what have you been playing recently? Have you been playing anything new or anything cool?
I've actually been playing through the Doom games because I'm getting ready to play Doom: The Dark Ages. And then I've also been playing I actually started playing a little bit of more of PoE because their new update, some new updates have been going on in that.
What's PoE? Is that Fantasy Star? No, that's not Fantasy Star.
It's Path of
Exile.
Yeah.
Path of Exile too. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Are they still on alpha? Not alpha, but beta
early
on that?
access?
Like,
I would believe so, yeah.
Oh
I don't think it comes out in... Yeah, I think they said they're going to come out of early access sometime in the summer, but I don't know when. So,
man, by the time I get to play it, everyone's already like God level.
Well, the way that game works is usually whenever there's a new patch, because they're still coming out with stories, so everyone basically still has to start anew. Because I had to restart when they had to when they did their newest update because they nerfed everything. So.
Oh, fair enough. Well, but that's cool. Well, I'm glad. Well, welcome to the show, Kami. Really appreciate you from coming over here. But you know what? The person who is just on a streak of just constant traveling and then constantly causing so there's always a story every time coming from wherever he comes from. It's the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, my dude?
It has been busy. The last 2 months have been super busy. We had Game On, we had Level Up. I'm just getting back from a trip to Kansas City. I went there last Wednesday. Got back this past Monday. It was an absolutely fantastic trip. NASCAR brought us out. They brought out a bunch of their e-NASCAR drivers as well. We got to go over to the Kansas Speedway, hang out, do something with Price Choppers, like a local grocery store out there. Like, absolute fantastic event. I loved it. Just being able to, obviously with Vegas Inferno, we were out there, we were representing and whatnot. So that was fantastic. Games wise has been chill. I actually just had a review come out for a game called War Rats, single dev called Woodus Art. Fantastic artist. You can check him out on Instagram. He's a solo dev, does most of the stuff. Fun little game. It's out in early access now. I'm terrible. I'm still working on the video. I should have had that out, but the article is out now as well. I'll have to find that link for you. And then we're working on, I think I can talk about it, right?
Oh, yeah, you can. It's already out.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, bet. And we're working on a review for The Precinct. That was a game that I was hyped up on from what was it? Next Fest, Steam Next Fest, that I had played. I had liked it. And whatnot. So I'm not gonna give any kind of spoilers right now. I will wait for that review. I'm almost finished with the game though, so hoping that we can get this review out here sometime next week. And then obviously the snap has been going down. I think that's mainly, I haven't touched Marvel Rivals this season really at all. I played a little bit on PlayStation, but other than like I haven't really played at all. I've been kind of splitting my time between these review games and Dave the Diver. I've been playing a lot of Dave the Diver. And again, I'm
it's kind of weird. It's kind of random with Dave the Diver.
It does seem random, but it's because I got that Portal. And I love the Portal way more than I realized. Again, I will eat my words. I was talking mad trash, but that latest update with the streaming games, I think for me it was an absolute game changer. I'm really enjoying, and my first game, like just basically playing through it, has primarily been on the Portal. Has been Dave the Diver, which I'm really loving that game. If you have not played Dave the Diver, like I was like, all right, I heard good things. Like I'm really glad that I jumped into it because it's a fantastic game.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, that's good. Well, no, we all knew. Yeah, Dave Diver is tight. It's a great game.
Yeah. So what about you, brother?
Well, as always, you already know me. I'm always going to be busy, probably from here on to eternity. But I will say this though, I have been, so I've been writing up my review for my first controller review for the Nacon Revolution Pro. So this is going to be a nice one. Been messing around with it, having fun with it. Oh yeah, you've been messing with it. What do you think of it? How you liking it?
Sorry, I muted myself. I actually have not been playing around with it. And the only reason I haven't is because I haven't gotten any B-roll of it yet, so I didn't want to get it all scuffed up and and stuff like that. So I haven't been using it, but I will soon. Yeah,
I've been liking it. And then shouts out to Nacon though too, because they also sent me the hold on, that's actually kind of cool. There's actually a lot of stuff.
I used this just yesterday. Fantastic. I am going to be replacing my Whirlwind FX with the keyboard. This came with the bundle. This was what? Was that Level Up or Game On? It was this and the mouse.
Level Up. Yeah, Level Up mouse, a mouse pad, and a mouse. So it's like it all came all together. But and I was talking to them, and so then they sorry for the podcast listeners, but then they also sent me this the other day, the fight stick. Yeah,
they sent you the fight stick. Oh, I should have.
Yeah, so I'm going to review. Yeah, I'm reviewing the fight stick. Going to review the fight stick once I'm done with it. Yeah, I haven't even touched it. I've been too busy, man. And and shouts out to Infinity, to IFI. They gave me a collector's edition for the new Death End Z Code RPG, and I haven't even messed with it. I
don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, no, Death End. Oh, Death End's a good. Well, you don't. Those kind of games are very kind of niche Japanese RPG level stuff. I do know you. You'd be more surprised. You'll be more surprised. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm good. Like I have a lot of stuff I wanted to come back to, but like I said, I just haven't had time because it's also with mixture with real life and other stuff and making sure with some other things. But once things kind of calm down and kind of go through a normal deal, I can't wait to start opening it up and reviewing and doing all that stuff again. So usually the time I have is the podcast. It's like that is the good little window of time that I like to do, and I like to be more be consistent of. So, but yeah. So there you go. But guys, welcome. So I know you don't want. And I've been playing Marvel Rivals. When I do, I like. You should this is the best time because now they brought back season 0, and then they also brought back skin a thing called Galacta's Gift that what it is that it gives you several different things like skins and stuff like that, and it also gives you a token, an outfit token, and I'm using that outfit token to get the legendary Hulk skin that I didn't get from the beginning of it. So
I saw that. It's kind of weird though too, because like it's not only that, but like it's like $1 more. It's also a limited time. I'm curious to see what they said that they won't drop things like that unless they've been out of rotation or unless 2 seasons have passed, and then they'll look to bring that stuff back. Excuse me. I'm like for me, and this is like kind of like that, and I don't mean to jump into just like a quick little thing. Like this is how I feel kind of like with Destiny, where they took away the exclusivity of some of the weapons and stuff like that. Like that's what made some weapons really special. It's like not only have to do this special activity, but then you only have a percentage of possibly getting this weapon, making it even more exclusive. Like that to me was really cool. If everyone has access to this stuff, you know, and then you get a chance later, you know, it's like I understand that, like, you know, if you missed it, you missed it. But like at the same time, that's what kind of keeps it cool. If everyone has it, what's so cool about it if everybody has it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's
Well, you know, I mean, I see your point. I guess to me, like, if it's like, there are certain things, like for instance, the alpha skins of Scarlet Witch and the Captain America, yeah, and then the Venom, the light blue Venom skin and stuff. I can see your point of like them saying like, okay, if they do that, they'll be like, okay, then it's not really as special as it was as it was supposed to be. But like when it comes to season passes, given just I mean, I just think that season passes, I don't mind it as much because it's not like this season was a special edition specific kind of deal. Now if they did a special promo, if they did like a special promo, like they said, hey, you had to go see this movie at this specific time, kind of like what they did with what's it called, Captain America with the Winter Soldier, but they didn't do an exclusive thing to Regal. But like if they made one that was like a specific thing for a specific event, and then it's like the only way to get it is you have to attend the event, and then you're like, okay, wow, okay, then this guy knows, like, you know, this guy's hardcore about it. But then they decide to say a year later, oh, we're just going to give other people a chance. I'll be a little bit salty about that, you know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, but like when it comes to regular seasonal events, like if you miss season 0, I don't mind it. I mean, I really don't. I mean, because it's not like those skins are not available. Oh, I guess they are not available if you didn't buy the season pass. So, but like, yeah. So I didn't even think about it. I was like thinking about the extra skins that was on that list, and it was like all the skins, the paid skins and the regular season.
That was part of like, look, I'm adopting in early because I believe in what's going on. I'm willing to throw ducats at you now. You know what I mean? And like you kind of, I don't know, like, and it's just it's not like oh, this is terrible or anything like that. It's just for me as a consumer of their product, it's like, oh, I kind of lose that that exclusive feeling, like, oh, I got this skin because like I was in early, you know what I mean, like on the early and shit like that. Like what Conflicted saying, one of the best things about old WoW before the time traveling was that you could have gear from 4 expansions and you could only get it from that expansion. It's like, yeah, exactly. Although that, like, I think that also kind of poses problems in itself too, like having things behind paywalls like that to where like it could change, like it physically could, like the whatever it may be can change the tide of battle or something like that. I think that's kind of different as opposed to something that's just purely cosmetic as well. But you know, it's just me bitching the bitch.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, at least you recognize it. So I guess that matters.
I'm be real about it.
Right. I know.
I retired from Marvel Rivals anyway for me, so
that's it. Yeah. No, I totally understand.
It's not even because like their decisions or whatever, because I already knew they were gonna try to bring some stuff back because of how their battle pass system works. It's like, oh, if you didn't finish this battle pass, you can still finish it in the next season. Or so I already knew they were going to do some stuff like that because they're very, I guess, giving in that sense. But for me, I just don't like having my success in the hands of other people. So that's the main reason why I retired from that. Multiplayer games are just
I feel you.
Some multiplayer games I just can't do it.
And their new season, like the drop off is like, if you're not high enough, like it's brutal because you're going back in like the bronze.
Yeah, because I heard that like, they increased the drop rank this season. So
well, because originally they were going to do the drop off mid season.
Yeah, and then they took it away. And they realized how bad that was, and like, you know, we're going to just increase it.
Pump the brakes. Yeah.
You know what though? They're experimenting.
So exactly, I like
it. It's just the beginning.
You can't
so let's just
I believe.
Exactly. So I'm just
also
saying, like,
a fan of Once Human, which is also published under NetEase as well. So there are like monetization is something that I'm looking at them heavily because they are
Yeah.
they are steeped in so many games that share similar like monetization practices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but I know y'all don't want to be debating about rivals in their regular. Every time it's always rivals. Something always goes back to rivals every time. But anyways, we'll go through it. We go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games that happened in the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry, and we do not want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners on Twitch and on YouTube, to be a part of the conversation as always. So if there is something you're wanting to chime in about or wanting to discuss or have your topic or view about it, we'd love to hear it. Just type it inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with you and go from there. So, Smitty, what are you bringing to the table?
Am I first? For some reason, I thought you were starting out. Interesting.
Nope.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about it. I think the elephant in the room, unless I feel haven't been on social media or anything, there are accusations flying around about Bungie and Marathon, and an artist came out on Twitter essentially being like, look, here's my original art, here's the timestamps, here they put them up next to screenshots of the what was it, the alpha or the beta, whatever they had done recently, and like these images are literally in the game. So first, what we heard was that Bungie had hired a third party to do the art. A little bit out of your control, right? Who knows what they're doing? You still think that there's some sort of like, hey, let me clear or some sort of clearance of these graphics that are being created. So it's not like this team is like, hey, we slapped this on here. Bungie was like, yeah, perfect. Somebody looked at this stuff. Somebody approved this stuff, right? But still, that's a little difficult to figure out whether, something's going on or whatever. And essentially what happened is that this stuff made it into the game. This person came out and said something about it. They said a third party thing. And then they have come back and said, oops, hold on, it actually wasn't a third party. It was somebody within our art team. Now, I don't know if you guys know, this is not Bungie's first time not only being accused, but being proven of stealing other people's work. I am a huge fan of Destiny. It happened multiple times throughout Destiny and Destiny 2 of art that was shown that had been ripped off. There were lawsuits, all this stuff. Bungie somehow has become synonymous with the art and art issues and whatnot. So this is huge. Obviously, not only that, but also in a time where you've got issues with AI art. Look at the voice actor strike, which is like, there are like literally, it's been 10 months. And they are like, this is our final offer. The studios are pushing back. This is for the protection of all, not only actors in the front, but also for those that are working on the back end as well. So it's super important. Sorry, I digress. Basically, they said, yes, we did this stuff. And they are now investigating how this happened. Number one, they need to rectify this by paying the artist. The artist is about to get paid so much, dude. Like, my rates would be ridiculous, son. I can tell you that right now. This person's about to get paid. Good for them. Their work was fantastic. It made it. They should have been paid from the jump off. The investigation part, you do have to, because I know that there was some sort of third party involvement, but they also have their own team. Regardless, how this slips the cracks on their end, that's for them to figure out, frankly. How they make this right is paying this person off. I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of licensing agreement as well to either continue using it or doing like an outright buyout. I've been in a situation like this with the Tropicana. They were using one of my photos in advertising. I saw it.
What? Really?
Back home.
What? You didn't tell me about that. What?
Dude, I was flying home. I was going through the book on the plane, and I see an ad for the Tropicana, and I look at the photo. I'm like, wait a second. That's my photo. What the hell?
What?
What the hell? So I say this, I get back from my trip. I say this to my buddy. My buddy happened to be working on a freelance gig with the Tropicana. So he put me in contact with the PR person. At one point in time, I had been hired out by this. It was like like daybed and like club type of place called Bagatelle. They had hired me out to do some photos for them. I was under, and what I was told was that this was for internal use only. So we didn't, and this was like when I was younger and like first starting out in like professional photography and stuff. So I did the thing. All right, no problem. Had no contract or anything like that. Whatever. I had gotten paid for the shoot. I had done a few shoots for them and this and that, and then they ended up going under. When they ended up going under, they gave the photos that they had to the Tropicana and told them that they had all the rights to the photos. They did not have any of the rights to the photos because we had no agreement or anything. So they had taken the photos and they were using one of the photos in one of their advertisements. And I saw that advertisement. Needless to say, I got paid.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I got paid. It was a nice, beautiful conversation. What kind of license do you want? Here are my rates. And they said, oh, well, how does this sound? Hey, you guys been great. Let's meet in the middle.
Unbelievable.
And I got paid from a photo I took 2 or 3 years ago, dude. It was crazy. So I imagine it's going to be something like that, except for it's going to be way more money than I got. That was one photo. Like this person's got assets all over the game. Like this person's about to get paid. So good for them. But this is an ongoing problem with Bungie. And how does a company that's this big get away with this? Number one, not only that, but Bungie now has somebody to answer to as well. Remember, this doesn't look good on PlayStation. The fact that one of their companies that are underneath their umbrella has a big ass mistake like this. Number two. Number three, Marathon is the big that they have been focusing on. All their resources, marketing has been going towards that. I have completely fallen off of Destiny 2. Destiny 2 ended for me with the Light and Dark saga. That's all I needed to complete. I tried the episodes and stuff. I wasn't like, and I'd like to, I'll probably try them out or go back or something. Something will draw. Bungie always draws me back. I'm not gonna lie. I'm also a Bungie slut. So I'll be real with you guys right now. But you know what I mean? Like, dude, they are trying to come out with this extraction shooter. Again, this is a very niche game, I feel, in terms of extraction shooters. I'm not a fan of extraction shooters. They get too sweaty, cheaters, all that crap. But I mean, look at Ark that just came out. That game looks really good. Like, how are they going to possibly compete? Not only that, I don't know if Ark's I don't know if that's free to play or like, I know like typically if they are paid, they're like $30-$40. Excuse me. But there's just so many things that are going like wrong for Marathon, dude. It is a nightmare mess for them with that. So I just kind of wanted to see what your guys' thoughts were with the ripping off people's art, just the whole, you know, them even trying to go into that genre, this game that nobody asked for, that they're trying to bring back. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
You know, it's like it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it, Kami.
See, it's funny that you mentioned Marathon in general, because for one, I didn't even know or see any of this new stuff about it. But for me, I feel like nothing was really going to help Marathon be a quote unquote standout game like that, because one, like you said, it's a niche genre, but two, we have gotten a lot of influx of extraction shooters coming out anyway. Because, you know, like you said, we have Ark, Exoborn had a beta, there's Delta Force, people been popping up on that. And so I'm like, okay, we have all of these extraction shooters coming around at the same time, and Bungie just came out over, hey, we're also coming out with one. So I'm just like, okay, so you're gonna try and compete with Delta Force, Exoborn whenever that comes out, and then now you're dealing with Ark. So it's like, and it's already not looking good. And also people were not happy at the fact because I think they did confirm it or somewhat said it when the first trailer came out that it was going to be $40, and Delta Force is already free. So it's like, what are you gonna do there?
You know, like, I'm not going to judge it until the game officially comes out, because to be honest with you, I honestly don't know. Because I mean, look at what, like, I mean, like, even as much like negative press like Assassin's Creed Shadows or whatever came out with, they still fairly got a I mean, it's still got a fairly good tone. I mean, they still sold 4 million in less than 2 weeks, which is, I mean, still fairly good. I mean, from the whole deal. I mean, just the optics of it, like when things look like it shouldn't work, what could work. I mean, like, Nintendo is a primary case of that. So I don't know, like, I mean, am I going to play Marathon? Probably not, because it's not in my wheel well. Because like you said, the biggest issue with this game is the fact that it's an extraction. However, I will say this though, because I'm more concerned about the fault that this has been an ongoing issue with Bungie itself as a company, because this is, like you said, I believe this is their fourth time getting caught. And this is insane to me that they're just now, because there was a live stream of the marathon addressing not only that, but also just addressing where they're at with the game itself. But just to say what they were doing is just basically the same kind of, business vomit that they normally do when they get caught in something in when they catches their hand in the cookie jar. But like because first off, the artist that they ripped off, her name is she goes by Anti-Real. And she's a musical artist as well too. And they showed visual proof, and the stuff that they took from her was something that was back from 2017. So there's no undeniability that whoever was a part of it was caught red-handed. They said that person that originally brought those samples in the alpha are not with the company anymore. And then they were saying that their excuse was that they had 200 and something people or artists working on the issue, which I can understand, but at the same time, to say that it's consistently happening, did that mean that your system is not working? Your system of checking to see about this stuff, if copyright or if someone's stealing art is not working at all. It's just ridiculous. And what makes it kind of like half-hearted to me is the fact of how Bungie, I mean, to Bungie's credit of them admitting that they did take it and not sweeping it under the rug. It's like it's the bare minimum. But but to say that, but their response for it is what's kind of weak to me, because like they said in their response, because I just looked it up, I forgot his name, I think his name's like Rob or Joe or something, that says that we immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of artist deals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in the texture sheet that was ultimately used in game, and we're conducting a thorough review in our in-game assets, specifically those done by the former Bungie artist, and implementing stricter checks to document all these artist contributions. Now, that sounds all good and plenty, especially the last part where he says that they are implementing stricter checks to document all artist contributions. That should have been done like the first time that happened in Destiny. That doesn't even make any sense. That like,
Four times the charm, buddy.
Exactly. It's like y'all clearly have an ether of doing this or getting away with it, because that's what doesn't make any sense to me. I was just like,
buddy.
I was just like, you're telling me that now it's like the fourth time after, like, with the restraints and the issues that you've been having issues with. I mean, don't get me wrong. Art theft is a real thing. It's a big issue. I mean, and I mean, I didn't know what Smitty with the Tropicana thing is wild to me, but like, yeah, it happens. We know it happens, but then you would think that they would be a little bit more like observant about it. In this case, like you said, this lady's probably going to get paid. I feel like what they're going to end up doing, because they like to be cheap, is that they're going to pay her out on what was used in the alpha build. Then they're going to look back on everything on what's going to happen, in later on in their other, to see if this person was just straight up stupid and just take it out. They're going to pay her out, and then they're going to take it out unless they liked her work enough. They'll be like, okay, we're going to keep it in, and we're going to give you how much your rates are. But no, but like you said, so I just think that, man, dude, it's like, y'all are like not helping anybody. You're just like making it worse for y'all. And unfortunately, you're in the position now where you have to say this. Like you can't avoid not saying this at this point, you know? So it's it's so bad.
I will say, and like you say, I will play this game mainly because what I do know about Bungie is that their gunplay is always top notch. That alone will get me to at least try the game. Again, I'm not going in with the thoughts that that's going to be a game that I'm going to play very long, but I at least have to give them that. And they're not afraid to go into a genre that may be like kind of niches. I mean, even like looter shooters and what they were trying to do with Destiny was kind of, they kind of were trying to mash two things together and kind of just made their own thing. Like that's something that even though they play around with that, your main genre or what they say their genre is an extraction shooter, you know, like you said, until I can get hands on, I can't really say whether it's going to be a game, but it will be a game that I will at least give them the benefit of the doubt because of their good game or their good gunplay, and just to see, hey, what's this all about at least. So for me, it's not going to change my mind about what's going on, but you're right. For the general public, just to kind of have these kind of negative marketing hits, you know, throughout the course of this development as you're going, as you start getting closer to this game being launched, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good.
I mean, that's why
right now.
Yeah, that's why I started my argument of like this game will definitely thrive or get some type of success with the Bungie name being on it. But like I said, the competition and the controversy will definitely be two main things that are just going to be in the way. Not in the way, but yeah.
Well, I don't know if but I don't know if this is going to be if it's going to be a tip for people, because like you said, like for people like us who are like, you know, gamers, will definitely feel something either way. But but then you also have the general public who just knows that, hey, Bungie's the people that created Halo and Destiny. And those people probably have two shits about like what's going on in the back end side, which is kind of hard to see in an objective side, outside objective side, when you're so tuned in to the when you're in it, and that's why it's like and like his dude, like like I said, like go back to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows had nothing good to say in the previous year when it was released. I mean, there was all like, we just heard a lot of drama towards all of that, and then but yet it's still got enough. Like it still was successful. Yeah,
there was nothing but the same way. People were literally killing relationships with friends because they were streaming the game. People were afraid to stream the game because of what people were thinking and doing and stuff like that.
That
game sold millions. It kept WB being able to like, hey, we got a banger. We can still do things. Then we saw what they were really about again.
Different story.
Yeah. But you know, again, that just goes to show that, regardless of the press, the people, the general public, the people that are not typically tuned into this kind of news and this back end stuff, it'll be like, oh shit, Harry Potter, absolutely, let's get it. I love Harry Potter.
I call some of them people true gamers, man, because we're just here to play games. We don't really care about anything outside.
No,
I will say to your point. Yeah, I will say to your point, Kami, that it's a very good point about, like you're saying, there's so many different kinds of extraction shooters that is providing like, you know, better appeal, like free to play and stuff like that. I mean, it is an uphill battle for Marathon to kind of to show their foothold, but at this point they're like, it's going, but they're in a position where they've been working on this for so long. They've been doing this kind of deal. Like, I mean, Sony bought their studio and stuff, doing all these different kinds of factions that they have to do this and then see where this is going to go. Like they can't just easily pivot out of it or say we're going to make this free to play or whatever. I mean, eventually, I'm sure.
I know for sure Arc Raiders is going to be free to play because it's by the same team who did the finals, and I love the finals. So they already got me there.
Even though that was the same team.
Yes, it's the same team. Yes.
Shit, dude, I gotta try it then. I have to. Could I enjoy the finals? Is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
NT,
they got two
my man
teams.
NT like loves the finals. Loves the
Yeah,
finals. Yeah,
well,
that's fun game.
well, is it funny that the same team has made two different games and two different extractor shooter games, and then Marathon's been on the cold front for 7 years, 7 to 8
Yeah,
years?
What's
so I
crazy
just
is that they're going to make
kinda
the
funny to
exact
me.
same mistake that they did with Destiny. Instead of just
Mm.
making it free to play off rip, they're going to limit their audience by putting it behind a paywall. Then they're going to say, "Oh shit, we're going to have to make this free to play because we're going to bring in that audience, boost up those numbers, whatever." They're literally like, it's the same formula.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they didn't
if they
learn.
start taking out content to make room for more paid content, then
Right. You already know.
That would make
You
more
know the
sense.
formula.
Yeah.
that's
You
what
know what's funny, though?
that's why I left Destiny 2, because like right when that last DLC happened, when it was like, yeah, it's free to play now, and we taking away all these other planets and stuff, I'm like, well, you lost
Yeah.
me.
Well, then again, though, too, like you remember, like, and I think also, like, do you remember Sony's original vision of wanting to go full all in on what's called those kind
Live
of games?
service.
Yeah, live service
yeah,
games.
live
Jeez, I
service,
don't know what I'm playing.
yeah.
Yeah, you remember they were planning on making like 11 live service games, and I was
Yeah.
like, holy,
Yeah, 'cause they were
holy
doing,
crap,
like, they were
man,
planning on
it's
trying to
freaking
make
insane.
Live service
So,
God
like-
of War or stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, they were doing all sorts of stuff that they were trying to do, and then I'm just worried, like, yeah, because like I'm worried that if I mean I really don't know, like if Bungie would survive after a fail like this, because because like I mean Destiny, it's great, a great game, it's marked its history, but like you said, I mean I think Destiny's run its course. I mean because they said that they didn't I don't think they didn't plan on making like a Destiny 3. There's no reason or how to do it.
For
But
me,
who
live
knows?
service games in general are kind of like hitting a weird angle, because not only are there so many of them, and so many companies are trying to make a live service game because they see like, oh, these people are making this much money. Let's see what we can do in the live service genre and stuff like
See
that.
monkey do
So,
monkey kind of situation.
I
Yeah.
call it the Fortnite effect.
Yeah, essentially.
Everyone's trying to replicate that, and it's like you
yeah, it
just
really is. Yeah.
you can't.
I mean, people are blind with that greed about that money. I mean, these
Mhm.
big studios, especially. It's just unfortunate to see that Sony try to pivot to live service over what they are great at doing in the first place, which is very good story narrative driven games. And I don't understand why they felt like they needed to make, let alone why they went all in on it to make 11 of them. It's crazy to me. It's like, whoa, it's like all you need is like one or two. I mean, like y'all did great with Helldivers, then y'all shot yourselves in the foot when y'all tried to implement y'all's Sony-ness in it, you know, like at the beginning of all of that.
There's so much I
So-
want to say, but I want to save it for the next topic.
Okay.
That ties in with this. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
we'll just
overall,
say,
basically, fuck Bungie. I think it's what
yeah,
we can
I won't say.
I'm not gonna play your game, but you know, you guys look.
You got to give them. You
I
gotta
mean,
give them a little bit.
I won't really
you gotta
say
give 'em-
F Bungie, but I'll say goodbye,
Yeah.
Bungie. You know, at least goodbye for now. You know.
Yeah,
You won't say. I wouldn't say Bungie.
Like I
Bungie
said,
isn't
I'm a
really
Bungie
scummy
slut,
per
dude.
se.
That's why, because not just how does that? I mean, to even like to
Consistently.
me, Bungie is no longer the Bungie that Bungie was Bungie.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that's the best sentence ever, but okay.
Yeah. 'Cause,
But-
I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, Bungie finds a way to bring people back somehow. Because I mean, I was considering going back to Destiny 2 because of the Star Wars theme expansions they were doing, but at the same time, I kind of want to finally get into the other games that I have not been able to purchase because of livelihoods. But
Yeah.
Right.
so,
Well, I mean, we'll
Big
see.
time suck. It's a big time.
Yeah, we'll
suck.
see.
mhm.
I will, like I said, I give Bungie, like, I mean, you have to give Bungie their credit that when
yeah.
this stuff does happen, that they do
Mhm.
they take ownership of it instead of trying to fight against it when it's like,
True.
come on, guys, it's like you can't do it.
Mhm.
But to say that they're like they're going through the right channels, I guess. But I mean, but to that credit, they're still freaking incompetent because it's like
Mhm.
to be able to do it every time. This happens. Like there's always a story with Bungie with a game that's coming. Essentially every game that they have released, there's always something besides maybe Halo. Well, like I don't remember them stealing any kind of assets when Halo was being made. But ever since Halo, post Halo, like with Destiny and then Destiny 2 and stuff, I don't know what's going on with this. You remember they had to change the font style because the style was different. The style was too similar to something else, and then they come to realize it's almost like a 1-to-1. It's almost like the Vanilla Ice argument, defense against queen. It's like, oh my God, that kind of deal. So I don't know, man, but yeah, mine goes duh 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 duh. Oh my God. It's like that was funny. Almost got away with it, didn't he? Oh Jesus. Okay, but anyways, but yeah, good topic. Yeah, well, like I hope this artist gets paid.
We'll see. I'll definitely be following this story for sure.
I think she needs to lawyer her up too, because like, to be honest with you, we don't want to get screwed. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So hopefully just get this stuff, especially with a company with like Bungie with the backing of Sony. Yeah, definitely lawyer her up. So well, good luck to you on that. My topic was about so Square Enix is doing a lot of revamping because of the several years of mediocrity. Let's just say that the years of mediocrity in their sales. So as you know, Square Enix, I think a couple months ago officially said that they're probably going to start releasing all their games on multi-platform. So they're going to be a multi-platform system. They're not going to be doing exclusives anymore. They're going to finish up their contract with Sony for their exclusivities for certain games, and then their next generation of games are going to be completely multi-platform because apparently Final Fantasy VII Rebirth didn't do as good as they wanted it to be to do, and Final Fantasy 16, it was, I won't say it's considered to be a flop because I mean I don't know how much money they put in 16. Sorry, I'm saying 17. In 16, but to say that they sold 7 million units and then in the first month and say that it's not to their expectations is wild to me.
That is insane.
Yeah. So like, so I'm just, I was worried about it. And eventually we know that 16 isn't officially, I think 16 is out on Steam right now, but it's not out on any other platforms yet. So so not on Switch or Xbox and stuff. So Sony Square Enix has officially revealed its plans to reboot the company over the next 3 years. So Sony's God, why am I saying Sony all the time? Square Enix wants to focus on delivering high quality games more consistently, which I'm going to be like, bro, I'm going to have to see it to believe it, because my problem with I have an issue with Square Enix itself. Square Enix releases games just to release the games without marketing it, without like giving anyone like a rhyme or reason or anything. Like for instance, last year the Mana series came out, Visions of Mana came out like literally in the fall, barely any kind of recognition on what's coming out, and like they release these games just to come out to die, kind of like what Bandai Namco kind of sometimes does too. And then for them to say that they're wanting to focus on delivering high quality games, I'm gonna be like, bro, okay, you gotta show me that what y'all's plan is going to be for that, because I don't trust you when it comes to that. Because now Square Enix plans is to emphasize quality over quantity for its game business, and it comes up with a new strategy to help realize their goals. And that they said that what's it called? They're calling their project Square Enix Reboots and Awakens, which is kind of ominous, kind of in a way, kind of like solo leveling level.
We just finished that last night, by the way.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Dude, so good. I can't. Yeah, yes, so good.
Yeah. So first off, I believe there was a lot of shifting on the upper management side. So under the new management structure, they've reviewed all the projects in their domestic studios, including HDG and SD titles, and then they're also discontinuing developments on certain other titles, which we will probably get to in a minute for something else. But like it's hard to say. We know that Final Fantasy VII Remake has been announced on the Switch too. We're waiting for Rebirth to come on multi-platform as well. So I'm assuming there's a level of exclusivity now too, probably on PC side for their titles and things. But I guess the real question is the other games. Like, I guess it would be essential, like their double A's or their double A games, the games that are not really like, the main breadwinners of of their brand. What they're planning on doing, how they're going to structure that is where it's going to be questionable to me. Because you remember what was the game that came out that was beginning of last year? Was it Forspoken? I think it's Forspoken or Forsaken. I can't remember. with
I know
the black
exactly what
girl.
you're talking-
You know what I'm talking about because every
Oh.
time.
I think it's Forspoken.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's Forspoken.
Yeah, it's Forspoken.
Forspoken,
Yeah.
Forspoken.
There was a
supposed to be a
Forsaken
triple.
though too.
Yeah, there was a Forsaken game. I always get this mixed up with those two.
Yes.
Yeah, so like we'll see. Like I mean, like with a game like that, they actually did spend a lot of money and stuff. They tried the live service game, which was Babylon's Fall, which was a terrible crash just for the hell of it too, which was weird because like a live service game is something that you need to have TLC on. You need to have a conductive group of people consistently working on that, and they just feel like they just released it and they didn't think of what's going to come next after it, or what's the name of that Splatoon like game, Foam Stars. Yeah, Foam Stars and stuff. Like they just released these games, and it's
We
like
knew
they don't.
how I was gonna play out. We knew
Well,
that.
I know.
I said it. I was like, what are they? I was like, what, like, come on. Buddy.
Another live service game that they just threw out there, and then they just said, "Okay, have fun, guys," and then we're gonna do microtransactions and stuff. They do it all the freaking time, and just so I'm just worried. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that they're finally recognizing what they're doing, just half-assedly just releasing these games, and they're feeling like, okay, we're just throwing money away when we do these kind of projects, and then trying to hunker it down, and then also recognizing that exclusivity does not work for them anymore, and they're wanting to broaden their horizon into multi-platform, being a true third-party publisher, and not fall for the traps of saying, hey, I mean, don't get me wrong, the one thing that Square Enix has is loyalty, because I mean with the Sony brand, but hey, they need to eat too, and where it comes down to. And you're saying 7 million units for Final Fantasy 16 is a flop, is a problem. So I want to get y'all's thoughts about this. Like, what do you think, or do you trust Square Enix to kind of flip the switch around and see where they're going to go with this new with their new direction?
Good comment.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I don't really have too much to say about Square Enix because other than like Dragon Quest and maybe a few other games, I've never really played too much of their games. Because I got into Final Fantasy. My first one technically I played through was 15. So going from 15 to 16, I was like, I wasn't really a fan of the 16 story. But
oh wow.
Wait.
For me,
did you like 15 better than 16?
Yes. For me,
I don't remember. Well, okay, wait. 15 was what's his name? Was the boys, right? It was the boys in the car, right? Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The boys.
It was the boys in the car. I mean, that's what they should make an edition of that. That's what it was.
I mean, see, the thing is with me with 16 is like it was cool to learn about, all the different summons, and stuff like that. But for me, the game kind of fell off for me after the well, what fight was it? Was the the Titan fight. I forgot his name.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I know you're talking about, but I forgot his
that
name
fight, and then Bahamut, like those fights. That was the peak of the game for me. And then I don't know what happened. I also didn't start liking the main character. I didn't like him too much. I don't know.
Not a fan of Clive.
Yeah, Clive. I just didn't. There was something about him after a while.
That's funny.
But,
okay, well that's fine.
All right, that's fair.
But like I said, I don't really play too much Final Fantasy, so take my opinion with a grain of salt, because I haven't even played 7 or any of that. So like I said, take it with a grain of salt. I just tried it because my friend groups were talking about Final Fantasy, so I was like, I'll give it a try. But I think Square Enix needs to focus on Dragon Quest. Because I would take a book out of Pot's journal, because we say the same thing. If they just focused on Dragon Quest, they would probably get the money that they need back. But on top of that, like you said, the exclusivity is really ruining their bag, because Splatoon only being on Switch, I mean, the way the Switch console was, it was fine for Splatoon. Splatoon could do it. It was cool. But for something like
Nintendo-based game, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they also had that behind them. But I'm saying, what I was going to say was, Foam Stars definitely need to be on other platforms, not only so the Splatoon people can try it out and see how it was going to be, because a lot of Splatoon players were just talking garbage about the game anyway and didn't actually even try it.
Right.
Well,
And I had a couple Splatoon people who were playing the game and they're like, the game was fun, it was unique, it was crazy compared to how Splatoon is, because Splatoon just has a lot of the abilities and powers and stuff. But when it came to Foam Stars, there was just so much happening on the map in terms of the foam with the abilities. It kind of felt like you were playing some type of um, shooter that just had a lot of explosions and stuff going on in the background, but it's literally just foam. But it was interesting. It was an interesting concept for me, for those who haven't played it. But at the same time, they also took forever with updates. They
Right.
didn't drop too many like new modes or characters. They waited like a couple months or like a month or two. They kind of like try to spread everything out, and I'm just like, you kind of can't do that when you're only on PlayStation.
And it's a live service game. If you're going to be a
Yeah.
live service game, you have to be aggressive about it. You can't be quaint about it. People are going to be like, this is boring. There's not enough content. There's, you know what I mean, a number of things. Would you say that they mismarketed the game?
No, they do it all the time.
With
all the time.
I about to say I didn't know nothing about them even working on Foam Stars until that first trailer came out, and even then, it was like they had that one live stream to show everything, and they were like, "Yeah, the game's coming out this time." Is like already. I feel like y'all should have worked on it a little bit more or something.
Right.
No, they do that. They do that all the freaking time, and that's what drives me insane about it. Because like you were saying with like what y'all's view with Dragon Quest, they don't need to do anything with Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake sold on its own because because of the name alone on title. They did release a small peek of it, and the graphics and stuff was I mean the 3D 2Ds, and then we're waiting for the second part of that, and they're going to be releasing the originals, the 1, 2, and 3, 1 up and stuff. They know what they got with with that. My problem is look at last year that they had was, besides Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Well, I'm sorry, not 16. 16 on Steam was the one that was officially released. But Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, which was the beginning of the year in February, they also had Romantic Saga 2, Dragon Quest Monsters, which is also a really good game. I don't know if it sold well or not. You have Life is Strange Double Exposure, Saga Frontier 2, and Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. So we know for a fact that Dragon Quest 3 and Final Fantasy 7 and the Dragon Quest Monsters are going to sell in itself, which is cool. But then you also got like the other ones, Saga Frontier 2. I didn't even know that they like until a month when they announced that it's coming out at the end of the when they came out. I mean, and don't get me wrong, these games are kind of niche, especially for JRPG fans and stuff. But they don't market it. They don't. They just leave it out there and they just release it. And then just it feels like they release it just to games to die, which was one of their biggest problems. And it's not just this last year that was the issue. It's just been the consistency of that for the past like 5 or 6. Like you're saying, like, I mean, the way that they treated Foam Star, don't get me wrong, Foam Star I felt like was going to not succeed in the first place because there's just too much things going behind it. How much they were half-assed. They didn't really have a group of a team behind the consistency of a live service, because like when you have a live service, you need to have like your an allocated amount of people to be consistently doing stuff for it. Like you're saying, you can't take months on these expansions and stuff because the game will get boring. It will, or you have to add twists. You got to do special events and different kinds of like justifications on spending money for it to stay alive. If you don't do that, then it's just going to be stagnant. And that's what, and they've done it twice. They did it with Babylon's Fall and they did it with this. And it's like they just threw a lot of money in for no apparent reason. They could have made, with that money, they could make things better. They probably could do a better marketing blitzkrieg on all these other stuff and their other games and stuff. So So like, I'm definitely going to try, like, I'm wanting to be positive on this, but they have an uphill battle on regaining people's trust about making Square Enix as good as it used to be. Because when the next Dragon Quest comes, I think I'm taking some days off. I know
that's what I'm
that.
saying. Like,
So yeah.
Dragon Quest is one of their flagships, so it's like that's why I say they need to bring out 10. Because, like, in my opinion, remakes and remasters, people, I don't know if there's people like myself, but I'm kind of getting tired of all the remakes and remasters. And at the same time, it does help people play those type of games that did come out, when they, were young or didn't even know about it. But at the same time, getting something new will always, you know, kind of push Square Enix to where they will be in a way a better position. Like you said, like, yeah, they can drop a remaster or remake and still be, it will still sell well, but at the same time, they need something that big that will boost them up to, like you
Well,
said, put faith in them. That's
to
just
be honest
me.
with you, having a remake or remaster is fine with me too. The only difference is that the remake and the
Yeah.
remaster just can't be like spent. Like for instance, Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth probably was one of the most expensive games that they spent. Like for their per capita for development and stuff like that. And Saga Frontier 2, Fantasian and all that stuff. Like when one of the games, Vision of Mana, came out, they probably spent the least amount of money. But the second, and what did they show for it? It was a good game. It sold fairly well. What did they show for it? They closed their studios 2 days before the announcement of the game or the game officially coming out. Is what I'm saying. It's like because of the amount of money that they're putting on these other games is
That's
the problem.
insane.
And yeah, isn't it insane? That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like what, like you
Like
what studio?
It's kind of like what
right?
Respawn,
It's like
I'm gonna say it's kind of like what Respawn did recently.
Oh, what they do?
What did I forgot? Oh yeah, because of the layoffs,
when they
right?
fired like 400 people that were working on like a Titanfall 3 to work on Apex and Star Wars stuff.
Yep, that's right. No,
Yeah.
you're right, dude. And I was gonna say, and that's kind of what I'm seeing is that you're almost seeing this culling, especially from these AAA studios and whatnot. Just them being like, not only are they cutting back, or we've been seeing continuous, just cuts here, cuts there, globally happening and whatnot. Now you're hearing, and this isn't, they're not the first company to say we're gonna tighten things up and look to focus on our bigger titles. We've heard it from Ubisoft say it now. Shoot, I don't even know who else has said it, but we've heard it from other companies saying we're gonna focus. I think EA has said something about it as well. We're gonna focus on these primary things. This kind of goes to, and I've been saying it for a little bit now, the spotlight has been getting brighter and brighter on indie studios. And I think that is the route to go right now, especially if you're in that space. Now is the time for indie games to be able to really shine. And you're seeing it because these bigger companies that have been trying to spread themselves super thin in all these different genres, realizing, shit, we can't keep up with this. We no longer can afford the manpower for this, or the workforce for this. Let's lock down on these few titles that we know we're going to be able to succeed on it, which overall is going to be a good thing for us. We're going to stop getting these crap games that they're just rushing through and putting out just to put out. So like they're saying, again, time will tell whether the quality of these games, because what you're saying is, what you're doing in these cuts and whatnot are going to make you guys focus on these games. We should be able to see better quality coming from these games. So once we see these games, we should then see the quality boost. Again, time will tell. But this is primed for indie studios and indie games to be able to take the forefront to go in, because corporations have become greedy. And again, something it's like oil and water. Gaming, just in general, and the people, the community, everything, it is the antithesis of corporate and corporations. What's happening? These corporate bigwigs and shareholders are getting the power and saying, no, you should do this, that is the opposite of what gamers want. Hence why we're seeing so many games fail and people saying, let's put out 11 live service games. What? You're being ridiculous, dude. Epic literally said, all we do is Fortnite now. They literally
Yeah,
stopped
pretty much so.
working on everything. And that was clearly the right move on their part. But what they're doing is unique, and they didn't just stay stagnant. Now it's more like Roblox, where it's just like, yo, we're more than just Battle Royale. You can come and make your own game. We've got a whole economy that you can come in and be a part of. You've got collaborations like Disney and Marvel, or well, that's the same thing, I guess. But like, you know,
Apparently,
all like, go ahead.
there is also a rumor too that Disney Speedstorm and Fortnite are trying to collab too. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
how you do it. They are on the
mhm,
forefront of this, and people are just trying to emulate, and you can't.
yeah,
Some things have kind of been successful, you know, in terms of that stuff. And we were talking about before, gotcha games where they get you coming back, and you know they'll get you to spend
mhm,
money and do things and whatnot, and they're really good at it, and they focus. But you're seeing more bleed from that mobile like I guess mobile mindset of that game
yeah.
starting to come into more mainstream games. I'm seeing, I mean, look
I'm
at
gonna say
you
because
know
it's
the
funny you said that is
uh
because a lot of gotchas are just getting a lot of good collabs now. Like DMC is collabing with PGR, and
mhm.
Wuwa just got the Cyberpunk Edge Runners collab, and it's just people just
Well,
want so
yeah.
many collabs now because of what Fortnite has done. It's just it kind of helps, these companies bring in a different audience. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try this game out solely because they got one of my favorite IPs in this.
Mhm.
You know what?
Facts, dude.
Well, yeah, but like just a little bit real quick before we stop, but like to kind of go to the transition with Square itself in this transition, they said that they were going to do stuff like discontinuing games and canceling projects and things. One of the big
Mhm.
projects that they just recently announced that they canceled was the Kingdom Hearts game. I forgot what it was called.
Missing
I always
link
forget.
Missing Link.
or
Missing
missing
Link,
links.
yeah. Yeah, something like that. That was supposed to be a transitional bridge game that was going to be connecting Kingdom Hearts from Kingdom Hearts 3 to Kingdom Hearts 4. I believe it was was it a mobile
Mobile.
game? Mobile?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
so
hearing.
mobile. I don't know. It's like old school. But yeah, so this
Potato
game is
potato.
going to, yeah, right? So this one's gonna this one was officially announced that it was that this was officially announced that they canceled it this year, this week. They announced it, I believe, 2 years ago, and then now they're just saying, okay, you know what? No, we're not gonna mess with this, which is crazy now that this is a mobile game now, and how crazy how mobile games are starting to look. It's just
Yeah.
wild. So yeah. So I mean, I don't know if it's a good
Originally
move. I don't
announced in
care.
2022. It was originally
Yeah.
announced in 2022. It was supposed to come out in 2024, but they have hit multiple delays, including their beta was delayed. So
Oh
this has been
wow.
a rocky development process for them from the jump off.
hmm
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
mean, this is like this. Yeah. Well, I mean, can't. I mean, you already know where I stand on Kingdom Hearts, but but the deal. But I'm just like, you know what?
Biases aside.
It's cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the real question is like, how much can you truly like trust the production process of Kingdom Hearts itself? Is where it's going to be, because we all know you know how long it took for them to make a 3.
Yeah.
Then they said that they announced that they're going to be making a 4. We don't know how long 4 is going to be in the making for this. It's like, and then you're going to be releasing this whole deal. Wow, they said the recruiting participation was 10-30. Wow, okay, yeah, this was a pretty big delay. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm just saying that, like, I think doing things like this for them to focus in is exactly what they're needing to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks to see if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan that you're not going to get a little bit more Kingdom Hearts, but
Mhm.
but we know one thing that Kingdom Hearts fans are, and they are patient. So we'll see. So
Right.
hopefully with Kingdom Hearts 4, if it's not going to be lasting 15 years, which would be crazy. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see for that to come out. So
I think it's a
oh
good thing. I like truly for Kingdom Hearts fans. I think it's a good thing that they kill this. Put those people focusing on Kingdom Hearts 4, get it
mhm.
out when you can and get
Mhm.
something solid is where I'd be at. I think this is actually a positive thing. Although it would have been something fun and something to bridge the gap. It's like, you know what? Screw it, dude. Screw the gap. Just focus on the game and make 4 as great as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 4 is also a game that's like I guess you could say it's a reboot because it's a brand new story. It's not not continuing because it's in a different dimension, right? Like it wasn't like it's something like now they're in a different kind of world. It's not like the Disney world anymore. So I don't think that. So I think that I guess you could call it a reboot. I don't know, but it's still continuance from the original story. But hopefully it's not gonna hit the same roadblocks that they did with the original Kingdom Hearts, which was basically getting the rights from Disney and then stuff like that. Now they can actually add some more stuff to it. So yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting order of where they're going to go. So yeah, but anyways, but guys, oh wow, what a crazy, it's such a big topic. So just two big topics itself today. So it's crazy.
They're both meaty.
All right. Hey, Kami, thank you so much for stopping by and geeking out with us when it comes to games. So it was really cool.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Yes, guys. But folks, thank you for listening to episode number 263 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week with a whole new series of different kinds of topics. I might not be here, but Smitty and Pop will be. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. We will be back. We will release this episode on all podcast services at the beginning of each and every week. So there is absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Ooh. Guys, thank you so much. And also check out our website confreaksgeeks.com with some really cool upcoming stuff that's going to be coming in on it soon, and some also a special video which I didn't even release it yet, but our little interview with Tim Miller from Love, Death, and Robots. Yeah. So I cannot wait for that, even though I got his name wrong initially, but we'll still go
hilarious.
with it. That was hilarious. But guys, once again, this is Davis, Kami, and Smitty signing out. Y'all, take it easy.
See you.
Bye.
All right, we
stopped. Yes. Zencast.